Hello, I'm Niala.
And I'm Anna.
And we're the Double D's. All right, today we're going to be talking about mother-daughter relationships. So I wanted to talk about this topic because I think I have a good relationship with you, and and I just want to know what your relationship was like with grandma, basically your mom.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just a little background. My mom is from Jamaica, and we were raised in Detroit. I lived in Detroit until I was 18, and then I went off into the Navy. But anyway, so I was the only girl. I had two brothers, and my mom, I feel like, was kind of tough. She was, I would say, she's a Gemini, so she had some different days. Sometimes I felt like we got a good relationship. Sometimes I felt like I really couldn't talk to her about probably, boys or anything like that. It was pretty much back in this, back in those times, 60s, 70s. I was, you could be seen but not heard.
Not spoken to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, I didn't have that type of open relationship where I felt like, oh, I can go talk to my mom about what I'm feeling, or, oh, I'm liking this boy, or, something like that. I didn't have that type of relationship. I could talk to her about surface things, but, deep feelings, or if I'm feeling sad or depressed or anything like that, no.
Do you think she was strict?
Not, not really too strict, I guess, because I wasn't really that type of kid that always wanted to go out and go here or there. So I didn't feel like she was strict because I wasn't that kid. I didn't really, need to go out or, hang or,
Right.
when I was a teenager. So no, I don't think she was that. No, I don't think she was that strict.
If you did tell her about how you felt, what do you think her response would be? Like, not caring, or?
I think if I told her, how I was feeling about, oh, I was liking this boy, then she may have thought like, oh Lord, don't bring no babies home, something like that. That's, she was just kind of tough, and I remember when I was younger, my, her first cousin, which was be my second cousin, she was a little younger than my mom. I think she was about 12 years younger than my mom. And she came and stayed with us for about a year because she was Jamaican, of course, Jamaican. And she was staying with us, for about a year. And I remember her when she was living with us. It felt like she was like a big sister to me. I just absolutely loved it. And I remember her telling my mom that
It's all right.
That Anna is scared of you. I remember that because
it's okay. It's all right to say this because there's a lot of people out there who probably they're still afraid of their moms or have resentment of their moms because of how they treated them when they were younger. It's all right to say that, even though she's still your mom.
Yeah, but I remember, saying that she said that to my mom, and I think my mom was like, didn't know how to respond, and she's kind of like was surprised and taken aback.
She didn't want to be that way towards you?
Yeah, and I guess she didn't know any other way.
Because it's probably the way that she grew up, was raised around, maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she's not really soft.
A hard Jamaican lady?
Yeah, she was that, that kind of mean Jamaican lady. But, but like I said, she's a Gemini, so, she has some days where she's like, cool. So, even like, I went away to the Navy, and my mom sent me care packages. And, How do you feel our relationship is?
After all that crying.
No.
I think our relationship is good because growing up, I didn't have that many friends. So basically, I made you become my friend. No matter what, like I can kind of tell you everything, and I do, because there's like, I don't know. I know you won't judge me really. I basically made you become my best friend, but still my mom.
Yeah. Now that was something I always say, like, oh no, I'm not your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ain't your little friend.
I ain't your little friend. But
You are sometimes.
yo. Yep. I mean, yeah, I'm wait a minute, you said kinda. You can kinda tell me. What do you mean you can kinda? What is it that you wanted to tell me but you kinda didn't tell me?
Probably recently now I tell you more stuff, but probably in the past if I was like sad or anything or depression stuff, I didn't tell you. I probably told you more of that during like quarantine when it got really bad.
No, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as a mother, you can kind of always tell when something, you can tell sometime, a lot of times, but maybe, we are a parent and we're not perfect. So we don't catch everything, but I try to watch, see, listen, just kind of see what may be going on, or kind of see how your actions are. If you're always kind of in your room, not talking, it's kind of difficult, being a parent and trying to, help your child when you see that they need or, need our help with something. So,
Right.
I think communication with your children. I think that is the number one thing, even in any relationship, but your parent-child relationship, I think, that I kind of keep the lines of communication open with my children. I try to, I think I do, but, you guys may say different.
Right. Even recently, the personal situation going on with us, our communication has become more adult-like, quote unquote. So, it's how would you explain it?
I think it's because
like now she tells me more, quote unquote, adult type situations that I probably wouldn't have talked about with her. I don't know if that's because of age or maybe we've gotten closer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can like handle it now.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, you kind of talk about things to me, and I kind of want to keep it, that you can feel comfortable talking to me about what you're feeling, what you're thinking about. Hopefully, I can give you some good advice on things.
Right.
Now, like I said, with my mom,
Yeah, how was your communication?
No, communication was like, I had to really think about, am I going to tell her this? No. So I was the kind of kid, I would kind of keep it to myself. I don't, or I would say, I would sometimes talk to her about what things going on at school. Yeah. And, she'll listen, maybe give me some advice, but I don't.
But only surface level.
Yes.
Type talk.
Yeah, pretty much. I would kind of keep things to myself a lot. Yeah, I kind of tend to do that. Well, when I was younger. Now, as an adult with my mom, I could probably tell her a little more because I wasn't in the home anymore, and I could just talk to her.
No repercussions.
But again, yeah, no repercussion. But then again, I still didn't tell her a lot of things. But I did talk to her, but I really didn't.
Do you think fear was still in you, even as an adult, to not tell her everything?
You know what? I didn't think about it, but maybe so. Like even when I got pregnant with your brother.
With Mark?
Yeah, when I got pregnant, I was 21, And oh my gosh, I was fearful to tell her that I was pregnant. I was in the Navy, and so I had to call her. I think I was probably 3 months along. I don't know how far along I was, but oh my God, I was just fearful of that phone call to tell her I was pregnant. Jesus.
What was her response? Because I didn't know about that story.
Oh, well, she was like, "What? You're pregnant?" And and I was crying.
Oh my God.
I'm all the way in Cuba, and she's in Detroit, and she's like, she was mad, of course, and then but I had to get, of course, I had to tell her, I was pregnant. She probably was thinking, I didn't send you away to the Navy for you to get pregnant, but I did. So, that first phone call to tell her I was pregnant, I was like, oh, Lord Jesus. And she was mad. And then, after that phone call, then, she couldn't stay mad as the deed is done. So, yeah. But, so that was how the communication is. So, but now, I'm in my 50s. My mom is, she's in her 80s, and now I am taking care of her.
Right.
She, as you know, has Parkinson's, and so I'm her caregiver. And, it's okay. So,
yeah.
Let me see. So, discipline. I think that's a good topic to talk about. Discipline as a parent. Now, discipline with my mom. My dad was there too, so I don't want you guys thinking I didn't have a daddy in the house. So my dad was there as well. Now, discipline with my mom. She just yelled. She was a hollerer. She's yelling. That's how she got her point across. Is she would yell at you. Now my dad was more of the disciplinarian, but my mom would, she do the hollering. And I think my brothers got more whoopings. Didn't get too many whoopings. Actually, really, I think I maybe only got one. That was by my dad. And then when he did that, my mom was, woo-wee. She was so angry at my dad, because back then, discipline was using a belt, and he used the belt. And of course, my mom came home and she saw them whelps on my back, and she was like, nope. And she went straight off on my dad. And that point I was like, yes, get him, mama. Now, when I got old, like say my teenage years, you start smelling yourself, and I thought I could say whatever, and then she would try to hem me up, but she, mostly yell or whatever. Which, when I think about it, maybe I was smelling myself and tried to say whatever.
Did she ever do like sit down talks with you? Like, because now I know I have another sibling. I have a sister, and sometimes y'all do sit down talks with us, both of us. So did grandma ever do that for you and your siblings?
No.
Never?
No, never. They didn't have it. I tell you, our relationship was, never. Now when I try to think, no, they didn't do sit downs with us and my brothers. No, when I think back, because now, like with you guys, my other daughter, she, so I have two daughters that live in the house, Niala and Asiana, and my husband, your daddy. So, yes. Now, there's times that we're all just sitting around and just talking, and it could be a certain topic. Not all the time, but sometimes it just happens. And it's not like a scheduled thing, like, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it just happens out of the blue,
So that never happened with you and your immediate family?
No. Not.
Because growing up for me, you didn't really yell at all. Or maybe because I didn't need discipline when I was younger. You would just like tell me once, and then I would stop. And then when I got older, do you think I needed discipline when I got older? Because I feel like you would just talk to me, and then I would get it.
Yeah, I think. Let me think back. Now, see, when raising you and discipline, the belts, that was never a thing that I ever used a belt to
Thank God.
to whip you guys. I just, that was just not in me to grab a belt and start beating on you. No, I mean, I think I probably popped you on the butt a couple of times, and there was one time, and I think I told this story. There was one time when I had to discipline your brother. He was probably 3 years old back when I was in the Navy. And we were in the store, and he picked something up, and I, told him to put it down, and then he didn't, and then I said put it down, and he wanted to fuss, and then I took it from him and put it down, and then he hit me, and then immediately I just like popped him on the butt, 2 or 3 times, immediately right in front of the cashier, and I just. And he started crying, and I had to handle the situation right then and there. But he's never, ever since that time, he's never ever tried to, hit me, raise his voice, or even, disrespect me in that type of way. But for you girls, I probably maybe yelled, maybe as you're a teenager, you probably, there's been a few times.
What did I do?
You start smelling yourself, as they say.
I ain't do nothing.
You start smelling yourself, that
was perfect.
Oh my gosh, Lord Jesus. Now, yeah, so she, you ladies, y'all start smelling yourself as as they say. And, I probably had to yell. But as far as discipline when you were younger, to beat you.
She beat us.
I know I beat you.
Still got bruises.
Oh my gosh, emotional bruises. But now, discipline, yeah, that was something that I could never do, is pick up a belt and beat you. No.
Also, being involved in parenting, how involved do you think grandma was in, like, you growing up in different activities?
Oh, okay. I would say, let's see. Now, when I was younger, I mean, I didn't do a lot. I wasn't into sports. I did play an instrument. I played the flute.
Nerd.
Get out of here. I know there's some people out there listening who played the flute. Yes. But I was in the band from the 4th grade all the way through high school. I played the flute. And, mom and dad, mostly I think it was mom, but, they would, come to all of my band concerts. That was guaranteed. They was always at all of the band concerts. So she was involved that way. She, did show up for the band concerts. Mm-hmm. I pretty much, I kind of kept to myself that, I used to do knitting and crochet, but I didn't have like, hey, mom, then, I think maybe as I got a little bit older, maybe my teenage, she would, maybe take me shopping and, that type of stuff. Now, what I do remember is when I was younger, and there was one thing that I used to do with her that I do love, was when she would go to the hairdresser, and that was every other week. So she'd go every 2 weeks, and I would go with her, and the hairdresser was about 2 blocks away. So we would walk down to the hairdresser, and her hairdresser was named Merle, and they became best of friends. Even when she stopped going to her to get her hair done by Merle, they became the best of friends. And I would love going and spending that time with my mom and the ladies at the hairdresser, because I didn't have any sisters, and Merle had a daughter, and her daughter was probably, maybe 6 years older than me. She was, older, and she always treated me like a little sister. And I loved being in the hair salon with all the ladies and just listening to them talk. And that was our special time, together. And I think, and that's probably one of the, the best times was, being in the hair salon. But yeah, involved, if I did have something going on, she would show up. Definitely, she would show up. I was in the honor society. She would, go to any of those awards that we had at school. She was there for that. And even, when I had the baby, she did fly down, when I had Mark, when I had your brother. She did fly to Virginia to be there when I gave birth. So how do you think I'm involved in your life? Or am I too involved?
No, you're not too involved. Yeah, you were always there too when I did activities like my basketball games, even though I wasn't good at them.
I didn't say that.
You would you weren't at the practices though.
No, because Daddy was there. Wait a minute, Daddy was there.
Yeah, but not
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were at the games, and then you were at my choir recitals, and then also the field trips. You remember all the field trips that you went to?
Yes, I love the field trips.
But one thing I didn't like was sometimes I get jealous when she was hanging around too many of the other kids, and like, and not around me enough.
Oh, see, and I didn't even know that. You know what? I would probably get jealous too if I was younger.
So I was looking at them with all side eyes. Like, why are you talking to her?
So you was side eyeing your friends or side eyeing me? Like, why you're friendly with those other girls?
Why are you being a chaperone on a field trip?
I know. I mean, that's why. I mean, like, I try to be, involved, but not,
What, like a helicopter mom?
Yeah, what's that? Hovering, or what they call it? Helicopter mom. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I wanted to be present,
Right.
and I hope that I was. When you look back on your childhood, I was present. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Boundaries. Do you think that I didn't set boundaries, or do you think, I guess, boundaries as a young
cross them?
Yeah, I know. Maybe.
No, I didn't do any like nefarious type acts for you to cross them.
Nefarious. What is nefarious? College girl here, nefarious. I don't even know what that means.
Oh, devilish acts over here.
Yeah.
I didn't do much. Like,
yeah.
well, go through my phone. You weren't gonna find nothing.
That's true. Yeah, she's a pretty good girl, but now she's getting ready.
I hid it well.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah.
Do you think Grandma crossed boundaries for you?
Oh gosh.
Oh yes.
My mom, there was no knocking on the doors. Like
Really?
Say your bedroom door. That my bedroom door closed. My bedroom door closed. There was no knocking. She just busted in.
Well, you do that sometimes now for me.
No, I do the one. Well, no,
She does the knock and then comes in. The one knock, I'm coming in.
I do, and you know why I do the one knock? I used to knock and I wait and I hear nothing, and I did that a few times. I would knock and wait, and I'm like, is she awake? And I go in and she's like listening to something or sitting there. I'm like, didn't you hear me knock? And so I didn't even wait anymore. I knock, and then I walk on in.
Because I know you're going to come in anyway, so what's the point of talking?
Oh, my God.
I just wait till you come in.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was my mom. She was like, she would just bust on all up in the room. And, there was no knocking. Boundaries, I don't know if she...
Well, did you, have, secret stuff, hoping she wouldn't find it? Like maybe a journal or something?
Oh, yeah, back in the day now, I had a little diary, but I really had nothing to write in there because half the time I forgot to write in it.
Were you scared to write, your true feelings?
Yeah, I wouldn't write no juicy stuff in there because I know she might find that and like, But, yeah, I never wrote in the diary, and no, it just stayed all up in my head. Let's see. You got any?
On, what makes a relationship better?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, like I said, I think, the main thing with, any mother-daughter relationship, you know what? I guess it does have to be some boundaries as a mother and a daughter relationship, because the daughter has to realize, even though if you have a good relationship, but when I'm talking, trying to give you information, right, and the respect thing, you still have to respect each other in order to have a good relationship.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I joke around making you my best friend, but I still know that you're my mom.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I can't really talk to you like a real friend like that.
Right.
But because I still have to respect you as a mom.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. It still has to be that, and that goes both ways. Of course, you should respect me as your mom.
Right.
But I also know that for me to get respect, I have to also respect you as a young woman,
Yeah.
as my daughter.
Yeah, like you don't cuss me out every second or yell at me. Because then who would respect that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't cuss anyway, but but sometimes, but yeah, it has to be respect given, both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Just as you talk to each other, sometimes you can get in the mood. I call her Nene. So sometimes you can get in the mood, Nene, where you're upset, and I know, and then she's upset, and then she's short with me, and then or she's frustrated about something's not working out. Nene is she's a Leo, so she's gonna get hot tempered, but not really an outburst towards me, but is real short towards me.
It's the situation.
Yes.
This make me mad, not her.
yes, exactly. Well, how would you explain how you are when
I'm upset?
Yes, and then towards, I guess, interacting with me.
Oh, I don't want to talk to anybody. And then it's like, you like want to talk to me to like calm me down, but I want to be alone and just deal with my own problem.
Yeah. But then, you know what?
Do you think you're the same way?
Let me just say this. What she does, and then what Nene does, she'll come back later, and then she does apologize for the way she was probably acting towards me. Not that she's like came out and cussed me out or anything.
I beat her.
But she will say, I apologize for the way I was acting. She will do that. Now, she's good for doing that because, I see something wrong and she's upset and I'm trying to fix it or help it or whatever.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
And then she just wants to she don't want to talk about it. But, she could be snappy, but she'll come back later and apologize. And so I do appreciate that. And now.
Oh, yeah. That can also make relationship better. Accountability. Because sometimes some parents, they could just do whatever to you and not apologize for it. Not coming after anybody.
Okay, we're trying to say Nene.
She is a Capricorn. She don't know how to say sorry sometimes.
Oh, God.
But do you think that's true for like how you grew up with grandma? You wish she would say sorry for some things?
Oh, my goodness. That is a good one. You know what? No, she does not. I think I can remember maybe count on my hand maybe how many times she said sorry, but and I think, you know what? Okay, one thing came to mind where she was so mad at me. I was a teenager, and she had hit me in the face.
Really?
Yeah. And,
I've never heard that.
Yeah, and then when she did that, it kind of made she had scratched. I got a scratch like near my eye, and I was so mad. But what I'm gonna do? Fight my mama? No.
Yes.
So I just beat it down. But no, I just went and sat in my room, and then she came in there and she saw my face and she saw that she broke my skin, like a scratch. And she apologized. Yeah.
Man.
That was when she apologized. But no.
Well, she saw the physical, but she doesn't apologize when she see like emotional pain.
No. It's just she just act differently, like, maybe nicer, but never come out and say, I'm sorry. Now, you know what? And I can say that I've done that where I don't come out and apologize. I just say, what you want for dinner?
Are you hungry?
You hungry? You want to watch this tonight on TV?
Go to no.
Yes. Now, and you know what? That is something. And you guys have, and your sister would tell me too, if I got, snappy with her, and maybe because I was feeling a certain way or whatever it was, and then she would say, that I was, being mean or whatever, and, and I had to think about it. And for immediately, no. So I'm bad with that. I don't come out and say sorry. Yes, I'm guilty of that. And you guys have made that known to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, we're not perfect, but yes, that's accountability. You guys will let me know that, I hurt your feelings. I did this, or I was wrong in saying this, or however I handle a situation. Later you come out and say, or you'll go to daddy and tell them, but then I have to come back and do apologize. I'm trying to get better with that.
Yeah, you are.
I try to get better with that because y'all be wearing me down.
Being that grandma is an immigrant, do you think the way that she parent you is because of how she grew up and how she had to like grow up so fast?
You know what? I would say maybe so. I think her coming all the way from, leaving Jamaica when she was a young girl.
At
then
19.
moving, at 18, 19 years old, and then going to Canada by herself. And, I don't know everything or what she had to go through living in Canada and just surviving. Then probably made her more of a tougher person.
Right.
It could be the reason why, just a kind of a protection thing. I think, that's kind of,
Maybe like protecting you from what she went through.
yeah, that that could be it.
If like well, her situation is different now, but if she was able to talk to you more about what happened to her, do you think you could relate or have sympathy to the way you were raised in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My mom, there's a lot of things she hasn't told us about, how she was living, when she left Jamaica and went to Canada. Only thing that we know is that she I don't know. I think if we knew everything about, what my mom went through as a young person, in her early 20s, because, their generation, secrets.
Yes.
Secrets. They don't talk about
the silent generation.
Yes, they don't talk about it, and it's on a need to know basis, and we don't need to know. So that's her generation, and she don't talk about it. And I can't ask. Like you guys ask all the time about stuff about, when I'm young or younger, it's just that open communication.
And I'm glad you talk about it because your kids should know, I feel like.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. You mean you should know like that.
Well, maybe not like little details, but just what happened.
Yes. Major things that because you get a better understanding of why we are the way we are. I like say like hugging and that type of thing. Like, oh, I like to, like my mom, she was not much of a hugger.
No physical connection, like touch.
When I think about it, not much of a hugger.
You're not a hugger.
Not much of a hugger. Now, will she say I love you? Now,
Did she?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or did she say I love you, but like giving you food, like not verbal? She show love different ways, basically.
Now she said, mom do cook now. She did cook, but to just say the words "love you," she said it. I mean, not often, but she said it.
Yeah.
But like I try to. I don't know. Am I like that towards you guys? Do I tell you I love you? Do I hug you?
Do you? Well, growing up, I knew you loved us, but recently I've been saying I love you to all of y'all, which makes you say it more. I feel like.
You know what? You're right.
Like, do you think you said it a lot out loud? Because I knew you still loved us, but.
You know what? When I think about it, maybe if you don't think I said it, maybe I didn't say it a lot.
But I don't think I really needed you to say it.
But
to know that you did love us.
Yeah. That probably comes from me not hearing a lot from my mom.
Yeah.
My dad, It was just that this is how I grew up. But, I wanted to, maybe I didn't say it a lot to you guys. But I wanted you guys to know that I love you.
Yeah.
I love you, Nene.
Oh, my God. Ew. All right. Closing out the episode, what do you wish you did more of? If you could, like, I don't know, change her or just go back in time? Do you think you would ask her more questions about her past? Or would you still be scared?
Yeah. You know what? I wish she was more open as a parent. I wish she was more open and made me feel more relaxed to be able to talk to her about whatever. I wish she was, that type of parent where she could made me feel comfortable to come to her.
Right.
But I can't fault her for that. That's just the way she was. Is there anything that and it's kind of hard, you're still in my house right now. But is there anything that you wish that I did differently as a parent?
Oh, don't look at me. Not really. You're a good parent.
Oh, thank
Like
you.
the accountability thing, we've been helping you do that.
Yeah, you guys have between you.
And I think you also have to want to be a better parent to be a better parent.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true. I mean, because I don't want you guys to feel like, as you get older and you leave the house, leave my home, then you don't have a great relationship. Then I never hear from you, and then
Oh, yeah.
you have children and I don't see the babies. I want to have that relationship to where you call me and if we have that relationship.
Do you wish you did something better or different when we were younger? So then we would turn out like different now?
Oh, I guess I wish I probably would have said I love you more, which I didn't think I. Now that I think about it, now that you mention that, I think I wish I would have said, said the words.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think I can't think of anything else other than that.
I don't think you did anything wrong raising us or raising me.
Now that had to be a story. You have extra brothers and sisters.
Yeah, but for me personally, no, you didn't do anything. Maybe because I'm the youngest, so you had a trial run.
Yes. Yep, that's true. But we'll have the extra brothers and sisters.
Speaking of that, do you
episode.
think? Speaking of that, because you're the oldest of your family, do you think she was harder on you because of that reason? You're the oldest, and you're a girl, and you're a child of immigrant parents.
That is a good one. You know what? I think you may be right. I think because I was the oldest, right? My brothers are all a year apart, so we're all close in age. But I was put in the position to be more responsible. My mom, my dad worked and my mom worked, and they would, when they go to work, I'm in charge. But I'm young. I'm little.
Right.
And I can remember a time when my brother, he was, how old were we? He had to be 5. That means I was 7. And we were in the home by ourselves, but, didn't have a babysitter. But, my parents had to do what they had to do to work. They couldn't afford a babysitter. So for 3 kids. And so my youngest brother, he starts a fire, he catches the kitchen rug on fire. And so I'm like, oh my God, right in front of the sink, messing with my dad's lighter. And here I am, 7 years old, and I'm running, and I told my brother, get cups. We run to the bathroom with our cups, and we go get some water out the sink and run back and put the fire out, So I was responsible, dealing with something like that. Or so yeah, I think maybe that's it. I felt like I had to be on point, especially if we were left alone. I had to make sure everything was right, so yeah, that could be the reason why.
Do you feel like your childhood was wasted then because you had to be like a second parent to them?
No, I don't think it was wasted. And when I think back, I don't think it was wasted. I think it was eventful. When I think about it, yeah, but not wasted. No.
Oh.
No.
All right, the last topic. Now that you're a mom, do you see why she did some of the things that she did?
Yeah, I mean, I can see why she did some of the things she did. One thing I learned from her is her sense of dress, her, how she carries herself, when she was in her prime. My mom was a sharp dresser, and she stayed clean. I mean, stayed just immaculate, hair, nails, dress, and I think I take pride in my appearance and also her cleanliness of her home.
Oh yeah,
always. I mean, everyone knew, you walk into my mom's house, no shoes are allowed in our home. And I learned that from my mom as well, the way I keep my home. And
yeah, and you're always dressed nice, even on like in the beginning of quarantine. Sometimes you would dress up still, sitting doing work at the home computer. Yeah, whenever you go somewhere out, you always get dressed up, and I think that's from grandma.
Yeah.
And like even now, like I like being dressed up. I don't know if it's because of grandma or you or both.
Yeah, so I have picked up those things or learned those things from my mom, and I do appreciate it. And hopefully you've picked up some, like you said, you haven't left the home yet, but
yeah,
I kind of see how you keep your
once
room.
I go off to school
When you go off to school
in a couple months.
Right. So, I hope you've learned some things about how you carry yourself as a woman, respect and, how you respect yourself, and you respect yourself, then the people are going to respect you. If you don't have any respect for yourself, you cannot possibly expect anyone to respect you.
Right.
Especially guys and the women that you're gonna encounter when you go off to school.
Yeah.
You carry yourself at a high level, people gonna see that. And who's ever around you will gravitate towards you if they're supposed to be in your space.
Right.
You know what, this was a great first episode. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope you guys, you enjoyed our story, or maybe you learned something.
Or you can relate to anything that we said about the relationship that you have with your mom.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope you guys liked the first episode, and stay tuned for more.
Bye.
Bye.